Hello and welcome to Flosstube number 2. My name is Lisa Ann and I'm with Peace Pineapple Studios in Columbia, South Carolina. And this is a channel about cross stitch with some embroidery, some quilting, and oh my gosh, y'all, I just started knitting. So that might be thrown in there too. You can find me on Instagram at Peace Pineapple. You can find me on Kara for my personal quilting at Pieced Pineapple. And you can find me on Facebook at Pieced Pineapple Studio. Welcome to everybody that's new to my Flosstube channel. It is a new channel. This is only my second video, but thank you for joining me. And for all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you so much. The amount of love that came from my first video was absolutely amazing and completely caught me off guard. So thank you to everybody that watched on the first video and commented or liked or subscribed. I really appreciate it, and I really feel like I'm a part of, much more a part of the community than I did before. So like I said, whether you are new or returning, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for updates on future videos. Today is Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, and in Columbia, South Carolina, it is, I think it's 92 degrees today with a real feel of 100. So it's a bit spicy out there. It's also 61% humidity with thunderstorms right now, but they're coming and going, so you might hear some really good strikes. It is currently thundering, but it seems a little bit in the distance. The lighting might be a little off because the clouds roll in and roll out. It's, you know, the good old South. That's how it goes. Okay, so today we're gonna have some finishes. This is a rarity. There's multiple this month. It's definitely the most finishes I've had. Well, probably all the finishes I've had this year. We'll have some whips, some new starts, and let's see, we'll have some haul. I had some decent haul this month. We'll talk about some cross stitch plans. I'm not too big on planning for what I'm gonna get done, but I do have a couple that I must get done. We'll talk about some quilts because many of you requested that I share some quilts. And like I mentioned earlier, I just started knitting, so I'll go ahead and share my knitting. And then we'll do life updates later, and I'll have timestamps for everything. So if you don't want to hear one part, you can jump around and just click the timestamps in the description below. Okay, friends, if we're being real, I'm gonna scratch everything I just said. When I was editing the video, it was way too long. So I'm gonna divide it into two parts, and this video is gonna be just the cross stitch and all the cross stitch plans and whatnot. And the second video, part 2, hopefully releasing around the same time, will be quilting, knitting, and embroidery, which is some felt ornaments that I've been working on for the last too many years. But please go ahead and stick around for this video for a cross stitch, and if you're interested in the other crafts that I do, keep an eye out for another video. Okay, back to the cross stitch. Okay, so let's get started with some finishes. This first finish is Mouse's Halloween stitching. And I'm sorry for my nails, y'all. I have to get them, or I don't have to get them done. I will be doing them this next week. But back to the cross stitch. This is Mouse's Halloween Stitching by TinyModernist. This is on 18 count natural star Ada from Zweigart. And it's all the called for, nope, I take that back. It is not all the called for flosses. I have absolutely no idea what the flosses are that I used on it. I know I used some of the DMC variegated. It is all DMC though. I'm just not entirely sure what they are. Like this was definitely one of the variegated ones that I felt just fit the project really well. but I finished this at the retreat that I mentioned last time, the Stitch and Thrift retreat here in Lexington, South Carolina. That was on July 20th. If you're local and would like to get in on the next one, join the Palmetto State Stitchers group on Facebook, and you'll be able to get updates on when the signups are for the next one. It's very low-key. I think it was an evening and a full day of stitching, but a fun retreat nonetheless. I'll talk more about it later. Well, just a little bit about it later. But I did manage to get a finish. Yay! I was so excited. I didn't have very much left to do. It was really sad. If you guys remember from last time, I think it was just the white in the ear, the white in the skull. I had a little bit of, I think, the spider web maybe. Or maybe it was this spider web. It was so minor. I did find one little part in the green down here. Let's see. Yeah, just the center of the green right there was missing. Yeah, so it was really minor, but I was so glad to just get it off, have some dedicated time, get it off the list. And yeah, so here is Mouse's Halloween stitching. It was way overdue. That project, I think, was started in June last year. So when I say it was way overdue, I mean, like, it was really way... No, I take that back. I just scrolled on my Notion. It was in June 2022. So yeah, it was way overdue. It was ridiculous to have just those few amount of stitches left. Okay, so my next finish was also very silly that I didn't have it finished prior, but super happy to have it finished now. This is Tiki Skull. And this is by TikiAndStitch on Etsy. It's just so cute, y'all. Like, it's a little tiki mug, a little tiki skull cocktail. It's got some, like, probably a blue Hawaiian frosty drink or icy drink in there with some flowers and some orange and cherry garnish. It's just so cute. So this was a super cute little small that I purchased last August. And I don't think I actually started it until May this year. I worked on it like 1 or 2 days and decided after my whip parade that I just had to get it finished. So here we have my Tiki skull. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it. I might do it as a pillow or add some fabric around it and do it as a flat fold. I'm really not sure. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. It will be going upstairs in my Tiki lounge. I do know that much. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned the fabric or floss. This is on 16 count Mediterranean Sea Aida by Witchelt. And it was in all the Cold Floor DMC flosses. It's just so cute. She has so many other littles like that one, like those on, that's not even a little, that's like a microscopic, it's mini. But she has a lot of other minis along that flavor. I think she's got like an Elvis and some various other tropical ones. My next one was a start and a finish in the month. I did start this. Did I start it at home or did I start at the retreat? I'm not entirely sure. Which way's the top? Here's the top. This is my, oh, come on, focus. There we go. This is my 12 monthly minis by Primrose Cottage. And this is stitched on 18 count Natural Star Aida by Zweigart. I had a nice little piece from Hobby Lobby. As you can tell, I've been able to use it for multiple projects. I just love the little sparkle in the fabric. It's just so fun, especially for a little pillow that's just going to be sitting there. So I started this on the 20th. So again, like I said, it may have been in the morning or it may have actually been at the retreat. I think I stitched on it 2 or 3 days, a little bit at a time. And I got it finished, I think on the first, maybe. I did obviously a pillow finish, and I backed it with some speckled fabric by Ruby Star Society that I had in my scraps. I'm actually using the fabric on a quilt that I'll show later. I did have some personalizations, as you could call it. I chose to change the yellow stripe on the bee to the darker gold instead of the lighter gold that was called for. I just felt like it made the bees a little more pronounced, and I really liked that darker gold, so I think it worked out well. I have some other personalizations. I'm sure somebody will catch them, but no need to point them out. They're just for me. So this is a cute little mini. I'm probably going to set them just on my entertainment stand right over here. I don't really have a display set up for non-holiday months, so it'll probably just lean against the vase that I have sitting there. But yeah. So this is 12 monthly minis, and this is the August month. So I will be working on the September month coming up. Okay, so that's it for the finishes. I'm gonna take a moment for a sip of my water. If you'd like to know what my cup is, this is the 2015 Texas Tiki Week Tiki mug. It's got an adorable armadillo hugging a tiki, and this is actually a very special mug to us. Sorry for this ramble or this off-track note. But this is a special mug to my husband and I. We shared most people do like Unity sand or, you know, things like that. Candle burning at their wedding. We made a Unity cocktail, a dark and stormy, and drank from this mug during our ceremony. Can't undo the cocktail mixing, and you can't undo the cocktail drinking. I guess you could, but you can't undo the mixing. So it worked out, and we didn't undo the drinking. So this is a cute little mug. I'm not drinking a cocktail. It is just some coconut pineapple sparkling water in here. But yeah, our anniversary is this month in 2 weeks. So enjoying using that mug right now as a fun little reminder. Okay, so let's move into whips in progress or works in progress. My whips. After the whip parade, I really felt I needed to work on this one. Time to get it finished. Uh-oh, it's stuck on the bag. Now it's really time to get it finished so it stops getting stuck, huh? There we go. It's okay. It was just the serging that got stuck. This is my Rainbow Temperature Galaxy 2023 project by Climbing Goat Designs. This is stitched on 16 count Haunted Aida from Picture This Plus, and that's pretty true to color. Has some decent modeling, but it's not too dark. It's a nice blue with a hint of gray. When you photograph it, it comes off gray a lot. I made some good progress, and I only have 8 days left to track right here, and then I have to go back in and add in all the stars throughout the galaxy in white. I'm going to be using a glow-in-the-dark white floss from DMC for it. I don't think I have any other brands, so I'll probably stick to the DMC right now. And I think I mentioned before, I'm going to outline the 2023 and maybe restitch the city and state. So this was my temperature tracking of Columbia, South Carolina, my first full year in South Carolina, with the highs and the lows. And it starts the highs on the outside of each ring and the lows are on the inside, and they each cover a quarter of the year. I could try to tell you what's what, but honestly, I don't know. I know that that's January and that's probably August. So I think this one might be spring. Yeah, no. This one's spring and this one was fall. Brain farts. Sorry about that. I had to think that one through. But this has been a really fun project, and I definitely need to get it finished. At least the stitching finished, and hopefully hooped before the end of the year. I'm gonna do a hoop finish on it, which is why I said hooped. We'll see if I get that finished. Hopefully I do. Okay, the next project I have is the Egret and the Dolphin. Here's a picture of what it looks like. And here is where I'm at. So this project is by Farish Needleworks, and I received this one. Sorry, I don't have a board to put behind it right now. I forgot to grab that today. Sidetracked, sorry. I received this as a part of a kit from doing the Flosstube at Sea cruise with Jean in January this year. So I think I made some decent progress. I think I did all of this down here and maybe the last flower. I'm really not entirely positive what all I got done on it. But I do know that as of right now, I'm about 13.9% of the way finished. It has specialty stitches, which you can see right here, right here, and right here. And those were part of the workshop that we did while we were on the cruise. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed those. Working or stitching with these, so I'm probably gonna implement them on some other projects wherever I have that like kind of diamond or zigzag type stitch happening. So this is on 30 count swan feather linen by Legacy Linen, and it uses all the called for Cosmo flosses. Like I said, it's about 13.9% finished. I say about because there is some like back stitched words, all the verses in there, along with a couple rows of cross stitch, or it could say like Caribbean or cruise or Flosstube or different things. She charted all the different sayings in there, and those aren't technically counted in the percentage, so it's probably less than 13%. Yeah, this has been really fun. It's a good one to work on, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the dolphin that's down over here. That's my goal, hoping to get down to that soon. I believe she just released the chart to the public, so if that's one that you like, it's got a Jimmy Buffett verse on it, as you saw in the original picture. It's such a fun stitch for a cute little tropical summer type sampler. Okay, so my next project was kind of in my Christmas in July vein. Actually, it was the only Christmas in July that I stitched on, but that's okay. This is White Christmas by Sara Guermani. Forgot to leave some time for, here's a picture of what the finished project will look like. And again, here's where I'm at. This is stitched on 28 count bungalow even weave by Forbidden Fiber, and it's in all the called for DMC. And I gave in and I bought the Romy Creations floss and camouflage. So that's in my haul. We'll get to that one later. But I got to the point where I was just like, nah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. We'll get it. We'll start another line. It's okay. So I added on, this month I added on the sheep over here, some more of the snow. I believe I did the hair. I think I did some of this over here. I did the eyes. Sorry, that was real far away. Y'all couldn't see anything. So I worked on these little people here, and then I started off on this house. I think I have most of the brickwork finished. No, all the brickwork is finished on this house. I just have to do this awning over here, fill in these windows, and fill in the rest of the roof with the snow. Yeah, this was really fun for Christmas in July. I'm real sorry if you hear the children screaming outside. I don't have children, but my neighbors do. So sorry about that. For percentages on that, I am 8.8% of the way through on that project. It seems bananas, but yeah, it's a large project. So any progress is good progress. The next project I have to share with you today, this is in the hoop, grime garden all. This is Universal Monster. Picture of the final project here. And here's my progress. This has been so fun to work on, y'all, like so fun. I played in Frankenstein's room over here. So started getting Frankenstein finished and building up some of the machines that are in there. He's been so fun. I love Frankenstein, so this one was exciting to get to. This project is by thewitchystitcher, and I stitched it on, or I am stitching it on, 16 count Haunted Aida by Picture This Plus. And it is mostly in the called for DMCs at this time. I do have some gold Kreinik in there, and I think there were some various personalizations that I did over here. I don't really remember them all at the moment. Thank you for the feedback that I got on the last video to bite the bullet and do the big moon. It's worth it. I know it'll be worth it. It was impactful when it came out or when people started doing it on their own, and then it finally got charted in and released later. So I know it'll be worth it. It's just on the burner. This seemed more fun to get done at the time. So right now I'm 57.8% finished with this guy, which that seems crazy. This doesn't feel like that far, but I guess it really is. Well, that might not include the big moon. We're about 57%. I'm hoping that I finish off Frankenstein and maybe start, I think that this room is Bride of Frankenstein. I hope that I can start that and maybe finish in the ghosts. And yeah, let's not be too ambitious. Let's do that in the next month. Let's not be too ambitious. Okay, so my last whip is Death Before Decaf. Here's a picture of it. I'll get this down, y'all. I'm just out of sorts today. So Death Before Decaf, this is by thewitchystitcher. And here's where I'm at. Sorry, it's still in the hoop, y'all, but I think you can still enjoy it. This is stitched on 28 count tarnish linen. It's actually the casual linen, and this is by Picture This Plus. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's dyed by Picture This Plus. And I'm using all of the called for DMC flosses. She does give options for hand-dyed, I believe, but I went for the DMC route. So progress, what did I do? I finished filling in most of the skull. I have a couple stitches here in 310. There's another one right there that I need to fill in. I need to fill in the coffee that's back over here and finish off Before and Death. And there's a couple more ghosts around. Well, there's quite a few ghosts left. But I got a lot of good stitching on the red in there, and I started doing the outline and tracing him up this way. For the fire, this is generally my project that I stitch on during the infusion treatments that I get, and then afterwards just wanted to keep stitching it, so I did. This is going to end up eventually being framed and hung in my kitchen. But yes, this project is so much fun, y'all. So much fun. I highly recommend, if you like witchy stitcher vibe, give this one a go. It's super cute. And yeah, I am now a tea drinker, but when it comes to my coffee, don't give me decaf, so that's why this one hits home. And it's, I don't know if I mentioned it, y'all, I feel so out of it, I'm sorry. It's 66% finished, so I feel like we're in the home stretch. Okay. My next project, well, actually I can't show it to you. I'll show you the floss. Yeah, I'll show you the floss and maybe the fabric. We can do that. We can give a teaser. Okay, so this is secret stitching. I'll be able to share it with you next month. It's on, no, it's not. Okay, I can't remember what the fabric is. It is a picture of this plus fabric, and it's on a linen. This must be a 16 count. Or I'm sorry, a 32 count. Obviously not 16. But these are some of the flosses. I can't wait to share this with you guys. Next month, there is a reason for the flosses all being on separate rings and tags and all that goodness. This is the fabric. These are the colors. I can't wait to share it with you next month. I have to get it finished. I'm 59.8% of the way through stitching this one, and that's also kind of a rough percentage. The stitches don't really count stitch-wise because it's cross stitch and embroidery stitches. It'll make more sense next month. I'm sorry. I'll try to, it's a gift. It'll be gone. I'll have a picture of it, or maybe I'll film a short clip out of sequence before I send it off and insert that next time. Yeah, secret stitching, gotta love it. Makes it tough. Okay, sorry for the zipper. My next project, or my next start, is Oona Owl by the Artsy Housewife. Here's a picture. And I was ready to go on this one multiple times, but I never really liked the white fabric or vanilla type fabric that was kind of called for on it. This is silly. Let's remove that. So I was watching the Stitching Owl. I think the Stitching Owl. Thanks for the shout out last time. But I was watching her channel and she did her Oona Owl on a like minty colored fabric, and I was like, oh, I have vanilla mint from Atomic Ranch and that would be perfect. Or sorry, not vanilla mint, winter mint. So I'm stitching this. Oh, sorry for the wrinkles. That's not really quite the color. Kind of. It's a very pale green. This is on a 32 count winter mint even weave by, it's on a Lugana by Rogue Fabrics. It's on their Atomic Fabrics line. I'm 1.7% of the way through. This is just starting in the head of Oona. She is so fun to stitch. So much character. I started her and worked on her for 2 days, I think, and kind of got to the spot where I wanted to start in with the called for espresso bean, I think it is, by General Arts. And I didn't have it, so ended up putting it down. But I think I'm going to work on this one a lot this month. Hopefully I do. We'll see. Knitting has taken over. But so here's where I'm at with Oona Owl. Again, like I said, 1.7%. I'm not necessarily tracking the number of stitches, but kind of keeping a vague progress percentage check on it. But I'm so happy that I realized I had this color. Man, I really wish it would show. Nope, it goes cold. bummer. But I'm super happy that I switched over and started it on this fabric. It probably would have been really cute on my tarnished fabric, but I didn't have enough to cut off from Death Before Decaf and add it, or have enough for this guy, but it's okay. I had this in the stash, and that's kind of my goals right now, to use all of that. So I am using, I think now I've bought all the all the flosses for the overdried floss, so I will be doing all the called for. Sorry for the zipper again. Okay, so that's kind of it for my new projects. It's not kind of it, that is it for my new projects. So now we'll move into haul. I normally don't have a lot of haul. I try to use just what I need for the projects coming up. And I'll make sure I include any digital patterns that I purchase. I try to purchase, now I'm trying to purchase only digital patterns because I do use Markup RXP, and before that I used Knit Companion. It's just really hard when you go into the local needleworks store and you see the pattern, excuse me, you see the pattern and it's like, ooh, let's grab it and go. But I don't like scanning in my patterns. I don't like working off of a paper working copy. So PDFs it is. Digital copies. So sorry, long story, another rambling. Instead, like I said, for haul, it's generally just going to be fabrics, or maybe fabric that I've dyed, flosses, things of that nature. So let's start off with the Stitch and Thrift Retreat. Sorry, words were blanking there. What did I get from the Stitch and Thrift Retreat? I did not buy anything from the vendors there. So there's vendors, and then other people set up the whole Stitch and Thrift Retreat concept. Other people set up tables with their stash that they want to sell, or they could be vendors as well. But it's a really cool concept that if you've got loads of old patterns that you never used or just aren't your flavor anymore, or fabrics or flosses that you're never going to get to, you can put them on the table, you set up your Venmo, and other guests can purchase them. So really fun concept. Love that idea. Like I said, I didn't buy anything, but oh my goodness, did I get some table gifts. Actually, lots of gifts from not just my table. It's such a generous group. First is from Stitching Scotty. She does have a Flosstube. Got this adorable pin and keychain or scissor fob. It's got, sorry, off camera, measuring tape and some scissors. It's so cute. So super excited about that. And like I said, you can find her name's Dottie. You can find her at Stitching Scotty, and she's based out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Most of the ladies at my table were from Spartanburg or that area. And then another new friend at the table, didn't cross stitch, but she did like paper stitching. I'm not sure what the actual terminology is for it, but it would be like embroidery, or yeah, it's like the papers that have the holes in it, and you get to make it and then you use it for cards. Or you get to make it, you get to stitch through the holes and make cards and whatnot. It was super cute. I loved sitting next to her and talking, and she gave us all of these punched out bobbins. There's so many, and they're on a good weight cardstock, and then they're on this really fun D-ring clip, binder clip. So I don't have any in this shape, so I was pretty It's minor, but I'm pretty stoked on that. And then she also gave us a chapstick, which, you know, super important when you're at a retreat from all that talking. And another gift that we received were these project tags. How cute is this? It's a little luggage tag. You get to note your pattern, the designer, when you started it, the stitches on it, any notes, and then you can include your fabric information, floss information. This is an excellent solution if you don't use something like Notion or anything like that. I really love this idea of tracking. This was given to us by Kira, I believe, Kira Dobbs. She does have a Flosstube. I can't think of it at the moment, but I will link it down below. Down below, yeah, in the description box. So if anybody is looking for a solution for project information to keep just with your project on the go, this is an excellent one. And my next one, I might leave it in the bag. Yeah, y'all can see it without too much glare. This is an adorable little needle minder. Oh my gosh. I love these really small ones that are super light. Like, this is the perfect size. You don't need much to hold on to the fabric, right? But it weighs nothing. So I love those tiny ones. And I don't know if you can pick it up. Picking up the glitter in there. Yeah, a little bit. There's some glitter, yellow glitter in the bananas. Loved it. Okay. This came, I want to say this one was from our local Needleworks store, the Stitching Kitten. Again, a little needle minder. There were all sorts of choices in here. So cute. And another one we had passed around was options for charms. There we go. It's a snowflake and it has little rhinestones on it. So most of them were all holiday or Christmassy themed. But I loved the idea of just being able to have like a little box of charms go around and you get to pick out your favorite one. Yeah. Nope, doesn't want to focus. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, I loved that idea. That way everybody kind of gets to pick what they want. If you don't celebrate the holidays, you could grab, you know, something more wintry like a snowflake or along those lines. Another one that got passed around were little needle minders that were these clear resin with a picture in them, and mine is a dragonfly. I'm really loving all the dragonflies I have outside in my garden right now. Trying, not really successful, but trying to help keep the mosquitoes at bay. And then another lovely lady at our table, the Southern Yankee Stitcher. She's on Flosstube. She gave us all these cards, a set of cards, and it is actually a picture of her mother and her friends growing up. So cute. So I really enjoyed that. It says, sorry if you couldn't read that. It's a blank card inside, but it says your vibe attracts your tribe. How true is that? I love this. Again, those were made by Southern Yankee Stitcher. Thank you so much for those. We did, at the retreat, we had 2 floss bingos. We did a over-dyed one and did not win that one, but somebody else at my table did. And then we did a DMC one, and oh my gosh, y'all, I won. I won all of these lovely flosses. Like, so many. So many colors. And it's such an amazing assortment too. They are some of different ages. You can tell the labels change a bit. I think there was one that wasn't a DMC. not a big deal, but not seeing her on here. But yeah, anyways, sorry. So that was so much fun. It was really wild. Like I said, I'm not one to usually win those things, those fun games. And it all came stuffed to the gills in this little zipper bag. And I haven't played bingo in ages. The last time we went to play bingo, and probably like the only time since I was maybe like 15. We went to go play bingo last August when my family was down in Palm Springs, California, and it was one of the hurricanes crept up the West Coast and actually turned into a tropical storm when it rolled through Palm Springs, but bingo got canceled like while we were at the casino waiting for it. It was sad, but it was a fun adventure. Sidetrack. Oh, I lied, y'all. I lied to you. I'm so sorry. I did make a purchase from a vendor. I bought this lovely fabric. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's true to color. This is by Mystic Fabrics, and it's a 28 count Monaco, 18 by 30, but there's no color information. You can proof me there. It wasn't $20 either. Love it. So I have absolutely no idea what this color is, but it's gorgeous. I couldn't pass it up. The pink has like the perfect, almost slight hint of lavender undertone to it. And then it has that gorgeous orangey, peachy cantaloupe. This is like a melon. We'll call this my melon fabric. Melon and berries. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for, but I'm sure I'll find something. I'm going to find a project. I just haven't spent any time to think about it. I saw it, felt amazing. The color was awesome, and I didn't have anything in my stash that was like it, so I had to buy it. I had to. Twist my arm. It was the only thing I bought. I was really good otherwise. At the retreat, we did have a needle punching workshop, or not a workshop, but a demonstration. So we got to ask questions, touch and feel, watch, all that good stuff. It was really informative. I would really like to do it, but I chose knitting. I'm sure I'll do it in the future. The other workshop that we had was a bleach dyeing workshop. The last retreat that she did in January, there was ice dyeing coffee and coffee tea dyeing fabrics, and I did both of those last time. So I figured, you know what? Let's just keep learning. If I'm going to experiment, let's experiment with a group, and if it fails utterly, I can learn hopefully why it failed. But this was my bleach dye. It's real wrinkled because I haven't ironed it or anything since then. This was the original color. It was a fabric that I bought. Did I buy it? Yes, I bought it at the previous Stitch and Thrift. This is probably a 14 count Aida. And I just did a kind of splattered bleach. What you do is you scrunched it all up, hence why it's so wrinkled. Scrunch it all up, and then we used toilet bowl cleaner, like 100% Clorox gel. Apparently it's easier to manage. I'm not gonna ask questions. It worked out great for me. And it also looks like it's got blue sparkles in it. Loved it. Anyways, you bunch it up and then you dabbed it on. So that's kind of how you get this more speckled, almost tie-dye kind of job. It's really hard to see with the shadows, so I'm sorry about that. Oh, there you go. You can see a good bit. I like the variation on it. It's pretty simple. It's not too harsh of a contrast, so I didn't leave the bleach on for very long. I'm sure I could have left it on longer, but being a mystery fabric in the first place, I wasn't sure how old it was. I wasn't sure what else it had been subjected to. So I didn't want to leave it on too long and risk deterioration of the fabric. First shot also. So I would have been fine if it bleached out white or cream. But I actually really like what I have going on here. And later, not later, but in a few minutes, I'll show you the floss that I bought to pair with it. And then I just need to find, I think I'll pair it with it. And then I'll just need to find a pattern. I'm sure I can do that. It won't be too hard. What else did I buy? Okay, so like I mentioned, I bought the Romy's Creations floss that I needed for my white Christmas. I was really struggling to find a vendor that sold it and had it in stock, but I did find that the Golden Needle in Texas had it, so I bought the color. This will be on here. So like her coat or her dress, and I think his pants, and then the whole tree over here all needed this. So I was starting to hit some areas that really needed it. So I bought it. And you can't let floss ship by itself. So I bought some other flosses that I needed for my Greyhound Year project and also Oona Owl. So let's see. We have Espresso Bean by Gentle Arts, Moonlit Path. I think Moonlit Path is for the Greyhound Year. Old Purple Paint. I think that is for Oona Owl and maybe Greyhound Year. Ooh, we're getting good thunder. The storm's coming close. We have Sable by the Gentle Art. This one's really pretty. I wasn't sure I was gonna buy this, but I'm really happy I did. It's a really good variation between the warm and some cooler tones of this brown. Very pleased with that. And then kind of its cousin is Portobello that I bought. And this is definitely for a Greyhound Year. It's kind of like the lighter version. And it goes maybe a little bit more gray. So all in all, I think out of these colors, I probably could have done a DMC conversion on Moonlit Path. It's not that much variegation, but there is some there, and I'm hoping that it'll show up when I stitch it out. I'm kind of the mindset of if there isn't much variegation on it, then I don't need to do the overdyed. Like the single stitches, the single X's just isn't necessarily worth it. I did love on the Old Purple Paint. I wasn't sure that I was, ooh, there you go. You can see the variegation there. This lightness is actually there. It's not just the light reflecting off of it. I'm kind of like I said, I'm of the mindset that if it's not a good variegation, I'll just stick with DMC. Or Cosmo, or another one like that. Personal choices. And then, like I said, floss can't ship alone. So I needed some gold perforated paper for it's a Satsuma Street project. Can't think of the name. I have the pattern though. Oh, Christmas tree maybe? It's a hanging tree and it's super cute. Here's a picture. And so I finally have the perforated paper and I hope to get this started. So this is my other kind of like Christmas in July edition, preparations. So I didn't stitch on it, but I'm preparing for my holiday projects to get started. And then I also needed another Q-snap, so I got an 11 by 11 Q-snap. What else did I get? I did have a stop to my local Needleworks store. Had to pick up my monthly fabric subscriptions, and you know, how do you walk in and not buy anything? So I bought more floss. These were other colors that I needed for various projects. This one is burnt orange, gentle arts, and this one I believe is for the fox, but I'm not stitching the fox as called for, but when I saw the color I knew I needed it. Instead I will be stitching the fox. Ooh, I don't have driftwood over here. I plan to stitch the fox as my dog. The floofs are very much in line with the Silken Windhound. The floofs, like how my voice went up there. So when I saw the pattern the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a red silken or an orange silken. So I knew I needed to get it and do my own version of it. My girl, ta-da! Thank you, graphics. This is a picture of my girl, Liv. So I'm gonna stitch her out. She does have some tan in her. I'm looking over here because she's sleeping there right now. But for the darker spots, I chose to purchase Gunmetal by Weeks Dye Works. There. Yeah, that's pretty close. It's a good, decent two-tone gray. And then I'm going to add in driftwood, which I don't have next to me right now, but that's kind of like the lighter tone gray, and then it's got some tans or browns in it. And then I purchased White Lightning by Weeks Dye Works. It has whites and silvers in it. Yeah, you can see that. So when am I going to start it? Probably not till January. Who knows? Maybe I'll start it before then. But I'm really excited now that I have the floss and I can just need to pick a fabric. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. Good thunder. Good thunder. So another color that I purchased, these were for Autumn Friends. Cayenne. I needed to get a refill on cayenne because I had gifted this or used this as my buy-in for the floss bingo. So I got a new cayenne for Autumn Friends. And then burlap. I honestly can't recall what all burlap is for. I'm pretty sure it's for a greyhound ear, but I needed it, so bought that. I hope you guys can hear the thunder, but I hope it's not distracting. We'll check it out in post. We'll see. And then I bought Mediterranean Sea, and I bought this for this fabric. I thought they would go along really nicely. I didn't have the fabric there with me, so literally this is the first time I'm putting the floss in front of the fabric. I think it's going to be gorgeous. I'm sorry if y'all hear it, but it sounds so good. This is, oh, there you go. That's perfect. You can catch it all. Catch all the colors there. This is a gorgeous color. If you're looking for a teal, Gentle Arts Mediterranean Sea, highly recommend. Stunning. And the real reason I went to the store was to pick up my Atomic Fabrics monthly subscription. So this was July's fabric. This is Bayou. And I get it on 32 count even weave. It's coming off a bit colder on screen than it really is, or right there. This is pretty true. This is not a gray, it's a tan, a beige, a tan, a sand color. these colors down here are really beautiful. These rust tones down in here. So gorgeous. This is a tricky fabric. When you buy it, there was a bit of variation to it. Mine didn't come off very green. This does have a green tone to it, these darker areas. But I guess there were other cuts that were very green, much more green rather. And by that it could have been not necessarily cuts in the even weave, but it could have been a different fabric base. But I love the one that I got, so happy about that. And then I don't make it there every month to pick it up. So this was June's, and this is Joy Lynn. Again, on 32 count even weave. This is gorgeous. Yeah, that's pretty true. That's a purple tag down in the corner, so if you're thinking that the coloring's off, it's a purple tag, it's not white. On the other side. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I'm not entirely sure what all I'm gonna stitch on it, but I do have, let me put these things down before it goes crazy and everything collapses. I've surrounded myself with haul. That's a good problem to have though. That's a good problem. Okay, let's put those down. Here are my thoughts for the Joylin. We'll just hang this right here. If you heard my dog growl, whine, not whine, she stretched. So yeah, she stretched and was like, so I'm real sorry if you heard that. This is, I'm planning to stitch some of these projects. This is the Magic of Christmas to cross stitch, French charm for your stitch work. This is by Véronique and Enginger. I don't know French, so I don't know how to pronounce that. She's a French designer. If you guys want to flip through of this book, put it in the comments. I personally haven't come across a flip through of it, but when I saw it, I just knew I needed it. It's a lovely book. Nice hardcover. I bought it on Amazon. But what am I planning to stitch on here? Again, I thought I tabbed it, but I didn't. Okay, so there's these cute little kids and the trees above it. I just love this. So if I swap out the reds on their scarves and whatnot, I was thinking of swapping them for like a pink and then stitching it on the red. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be really good. And then the other one I'm contemplating is this little wreath up here and this little guy. Again, potentially swapping the red floss for a pink. There's a couple other pictures of those two. So that's what I'm thinking I'll do on my Joylin. Some really good thunder right now. It's good for a cup of tea. Cozy up. And here's the last one I was looking to do on it. Little Noelle. Stop it. How cute is she? Okay. Y'all, if you want to flip through this book, leave it in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so what are my plans? So I need to get that secret stitching finished. Oh, sorry, knocked the camera. I need to get that secret stitching finished and shipped this month. So that's gonna happen. And I would really like to get some more work on Oona Owl. Universal Monster. And finish out at least stitching the days for my Rainbow Temperature Galaxy 2023. I also want to do the September pillow and hopefully get it finished. Speaking of finishing, I just stuffed it, sewed it closed, and then ladder stitched it right there. So you can barely tell. You can barely tell from the other sides where I closed it. It did, good one. I did pull it too tight right here, and I unfortunately couldn't get it loosened out, but otherwise that was it. So I want to get my September monthly mini finished. I'm gonna try and stay on track with those. They're not very challenging. They're great to just throw in my bag and have with me if I'm headed to my mom's house or something like that, something to work on the go. I do find, because this is one that's, the whole booklet is a paper booklet, and it's so small, so simple that I don't feel the need to scan and upload them all, but I did really struggle, throwing it around. I did struggle with, I threw it on the floor, my migraine brain and counting on that one. Jumping from motif to motif wasn't far. It would just be like 2 stitches and up one. It seemed really ridiculous, but my brain was just not processing it this month. So it will depend on, you know, how I'm doing, if I can keep up. But I don't think the other patterns, some of them like are radial from the center, where that might not be an issue for me. But yeah, so I'll get the September one done. Maybe I'll put a picture of it there. Maybe I won't. I don't know if I have a picture of just the September one. But hope to get that guy done. So that's all that we had today for cross stitch. This is post-editing Lisa Ann, and like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and split this video into 2. So life updates, quilting, knitting, and embroidery will be in part 2, so keep an eye out for it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, or week, I guess now. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like for the notification for my next video, part 2. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Happy stitching.